You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 59. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Alrighty, just saw that.
Biggest fucking inhale he's ever taken.
Well, you know, tonight's opening question is, where's my opening? There's my opening question. When it comes to remembering names, are you better remembering faces? Like, if you're meeting people, are you better remembering names, faces, or neither? So, damn it, I can't go to Cyrus.
Whoa.
What the? How are y'all going to have enough time to think about your answer if Cyrus isn't here?
I can do this. I'm ready. I was born.
All right, Lainey?
Ready. Okay. I am super good at fucking both.
Really?
That's
I'm horrible.
Sometimes I
I'm
forget
horrible
names.
at both.
Sometimes I forget names, but I will forget a name maybe 5% of the time. But like I make it I read in Mindy Kaling's book, and I don't know how true it is, but whenever people say like I'm really bad with names, I'm always like, are you bad at names, or do you just not like care enough to like remember the person's name? And that's okay. That's up to you. I make an effort to try to learn people's names. I pride myself on the fact that by the end of the first day of school every year that I have a classroom, I know every single kid's name by the end of the day. Like I work really hard at it, but I'm pretty good with names and faces. I don't know. I always have been, but I make that like concerted effort to be that way. So I don't know. If I really don't care about you, I don't want to talk to you again, then no, I'm not going to remember your name, but that's different.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm horrible at names and I would say I'm probably better at faces than I am names. I'm horrible at it. But I'll be honest with you, as I've gotten older and I've worked at several different campuses, I have definitely taken on that stance. I'm like, do I really need to learn everyone's name? Because let's be honest, in about 6 months, you may or may not be here.
Somebody asked me that. Somebody was like, "Why do you know somebody's name in this grade?" Girl, I don't work with
There's
them.
a lot of turnover in our district, so it's like, do I really need to learn it? You know what? If you keep showing up, maybe. So, the thing I keep thinking about though is, have you seen what was the name of the movie? The House Bunny.
Yes.
That is hilarious. How she's like the way she remembers people's names. You know, they say, "Oh, hi, I'm Jenny," and she goes, "Jenny," and she's like, "What do you do?" Oh, that's just how I remember the names. And I just thought that's hilarious. Number one, I think she's hilarious and hot as all get out. But anyway, picky old gamer, names, faces, or neither.
Faces. I can be told somebody's name and 5 minutes later, 5 seconds later, forget your name. I don't know why. My mind attaches to faces first, and then that's like, I think the names seep into my gray matter if I like you or I hate you. I think, or if the person just, you know, I hear somebody's name and I never talk to him again, I'll remember the face. I remember that guy's face, but if I talk to him and they're, you know, like at work, if I go talk to them again, they're part of a project I am, it'll click real quick. But if somebody else, oh, you see that guy over there? Well, I'll remember their name in 30 minutes. Be like, gotcha. That guy over there. Worthless information.
There you go. Worthless information. Chris, names, faces, neither?
I'm kind of like Lainey in that I'm good at both, but it kind of depends on the situation. So when growing up, you always remember the kids you grew up with, right? So I remember their names, their faces, those sorts of things. If I meet somebody new, if we click, I'll remember it right away. If we don't, I'll remember their face, but it'll take me a minute to recollect their name. And when my kids were little and we went to baby group, mom and baby group, I would remember all the kids' names.
None of the moms.
And if we were talking to my mom friends, I'm like, who are their kids? Okay, I know that mom. And then I would remember her face.
Gotcha.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I go by, whose mom is that? That's such and such. Oh, yeah, I know her. Okay. That's her
Before we get to Ray, I'm willing to bet Lainey knows all of the dogs' names at the dog park, and then it's like, oh, who's your owner? Oh, that's right. Like she does pretty much the same thing, but for dogs.
Yeah,
kids.
I am like that. When I was like that when I worked at a vet clinic. They were like, "Oh yeah, my dog is this one." I'm like, "Oh, right.
You're Johnny's dad, okay?"
Yeah,
Sounds like mom. Yeah,
gotcha.
A little more on my level.
What about you, Ray? Names, faces, neither.
Faces. I'm terrible with names. It's bad. But what I'm better with, I'm actually good with voices. I can remember somebody's voice more than I can remember.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Audio learner, Ray.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I'll pick up if somebody's doing a voice on a movie or something like that. Like, oh, who is that? Who's that? And then I'll list a bunch of other voices that person's done, and then she'll finally tell the person's name. So it's
gotcha.
I get that.
No,
that's good teamwork.
Well, no, but you also have this thing because he taught at work for so long. He's got a lot of former students, and a lot of them remember him. But and they'll say hi, and I'll bye, and I'll be like, "Who's that?" He's like,
Yep.
I think I taught them. I'm gonna go with that because I
love that.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've actually taught, but in the few years afterwards, I would get that. I would get kids coming up, and I'd be like, "Oh hey, yeah." They're like, "You remember?" I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm just like, I have no idea who you were, unless you were really awesome, or
really
you were a really shitty kid.
Yep.
You always remember the teacher's pets, and you always remember the shitheads, and then everyone else is just kind of like,
Meh.
I've only had 2 classes of my own, so I haven't reached that yet. But there's some kids in my first student teaching placements that I'm like, who is that one?
Yeah.
Huh?
Mine are just adults.
Yeah, he just taught adults.
I taught adults. So.
Oh, nobody cares.
Oh, well, there you go. No one cares about adults.
Adults.
Well, tonight's episode is actually a topic that Cyrus came up with. Unfortunately, he's not feeling well. He doesn't have much of a voice, which could have been funny in itself. But
right, we could have just thrown shots at him. That would have been fun.
I know, right? But tonight's topic is we're actually going to kind of step back for a moment, and we've got some new listeners. We just started doing video, so anyone who's new to listening to the show or watching the show, we thought we would step back for a little bit, and instead of doing one of our normal topics, we're going to kind of share about how we met each other, how we kind of came together as a group. So I asked everyone to, sit down and try to remember some of the stories, how we met each other. Some of us have actually known each other for quite a while. Some of us are a little bit newer. But I wanted everyone to kind of, talk about how we got to meet each other, how we got to know each other, and how we came together as a group. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and start real quick. Normally I ask for, someone to jump in, but I'm going to go ahead and start. And, I just want to go ahead and start with probably one of my oldest friends, and that is Cyrus. I've known Cyrus for a long, long time. We met in college here, actually at the local, central, campus, the little, community college. We were both doing stuff in the television department. And yeah, I'll never forget the day that I met Cy. Like he was already working for the campus and stuff like that. And I was coming up here for a tour. I was like, I don't know if this is exactly what I want to do and everything else. And I was with a bunch of other people. And I'll never forget, he walked out and he had this cane and he was kind of walking slowly, and everyone was kind of drawing attention to him, and he was walking very slowly, and we're like, man, he doesn't look that old. I wonder why what's with the cane or whatever. But he's just very quiet and very slow, and he has the cane, and he stops with the cane for a second, and then takes another step, and then trips forward and flips up and is like, hey everybody, how you doing? And we're like, that was a really interesting way that I met you. So, that's how I remember meeting Cy. So that was, I'll never forget that. That's one of my favorite meeting stories. So, does anyone else want to talk about how they met Cy? No? Anybody? Okay. We'll tell you what, Lainey. Oh, go on, Piggy.
Let her go. Let her go first.
Okay, Lainey. Who is one of the people that you wanted to talk about when you met them?
Well, I did want to talk about when I actually met Chris for the first time.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know this, but Chris and I actually met a really, really long time ago. We worked at the same record store, and we had this really, really crazy day where this like pop sensation came in, and he was a huge dick, and the manager lost like thousands of dollars. It was kind of a really, really crazy day that people were dancing in the aisle. Some kid tried to shoplift. He tried to shoot up the place later, and something about it just really bonded us. You know, it was a big deal. So it just
that would definitely bond you.
Absolutely. So you know, we look fondly back on that. In fact, we remember it every year as a Rex Manning Day.
Right, Rex Manning Day, yes.
Exactly. So
it's nice having that type of an anniversary, you know, on the calendar that you can always look back on.
Mm-hmm. It is. You know, we think about it, and
no presents. Just think about it.
Yeah, we just think about it. We don't need presents.
No.
It's not necessary. We got it. No. It's cool.
Well, there was the album. There was the Rex Manning album that you gave her. The one.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was wonderful. It was very sweet. I licked the cover of it.
You forgot your thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. I forgot my thing.
Yeah, that's a very memorable meeting.
Yeah, we worked at the pizza place next door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell you what, Pickle Gamer, is there anyone here in particular that kind of stood out when you got to meet them?
I was going to tell you, yeah, I was talk about how I met Cyrus. Of course, he pussies out because he's sick. He's sick.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been sick before because I was with a buddy, and his mom had some mental issues, and she was in a psychiatric ward. And we was visiting her, and I heard this guy off in the distance going, them damn ducks. I was like, who the fuck is that? And then I heard this guy say, fuck those motherfuckers. I looked over, and there was Cyrus over there kind of talking to a wall. It was just funny. I finally figured out the guy actually got slipped some PCP for some dumbass reason. Then he got sobered up and met later, and he's a pretty good guy. I remember him, but yeah, I tell you, at least he wasn't flinging his own crap or something.
That's true. Yeah,
not that dead.
Very true.
I mean, no offense to Cyrus, but I've heard some stories.
Well, there are some stories. So.
He is kind of ignorant, you know that.
Well, yeah. But we know we wouldn't treat him. You know, we love the guy. So, Chris, is there anyone in particular you remember meeting it being kind of interesting?
Well, Lainey, I do remember when Lainey and I met, but I think Lainey might be remembering the second time we met.
Okay.
The first time was it was pretty traumatic when you look at it. I remember
bonded us.
Yes, I remember the first time I met Lainey. I'd actually been abducted, and I was taken away from my family by some asshat in a chicken suit. And
how could I forget?
I know, right? But I understand why you fucked him.
Yeah.
So when he left, I tried to escape, and I was locked in, and it was frustrating. Then all of a sudden I kind of get picked up and swooped up and get turned around, and somebody's really happy to see me going, it's really you, it's really you, it's really you. And then she just kind of flung me, and I'm just kind of like laying there wondering what happened. And all of a sudden, for no reason, she's like, I have to get the prospector. What was the prospector? But that's sort of how we met, and it's, changed my life forever.
That would change your life.
It was a crazy day. Do you remember that other guy that was there too? That tall string bean of a dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's how we met Lewis too.
You always tell people to reach for the sky for some reason.
Yeah, I know. It's really, and talk about snakes and boots, and it's too much. Like, we get it.
We don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, he's not really around much.
What about you, Ray? Who do you remember meeting that was a kind of a standout meeting?
Well, I wanted to talk about the first time that I met Lainey, because Chris and Lainey met well before I was around.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
as old as time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, you beast.
Jeez. So Chris and I went to Walt Disney World many, many, many years ago. It's actually not that many anymore if you think about it. God, what the kids were only a couple years old. So 4 or 5 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So, we were at Disney World. I love that you play along. This is
Yes, and
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, but I wasn't that keen to go to Disney World.
I know you weren't that keen. That's a whole other story. Anyway,
there you
so
go.
we went to Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew something was up when I beat Gaston in the push-up contest.
Oh, he was mad about
He
that.
was
No, I remember that.
He's very haughty. No one beats Gaston. He has a whole song about it.
The size
So-
of a barge.
I told
Oh
Chris,
yeah.
I feel like we're being followed. I don't like this. This is kind of weird. But I couldn't prove it because there was nobody actually following us. So thought nothing of it. And then we went to the other park there, Animal Kingdom. And while we were there, we saw that Mickey and Minnie were available to go see them. I'm like,
Every day.
This is awesome. All right, so we're going to go. And I was feeling pretty bold after beating Gaston. So I was like,
You kind
Who
of
wouldn't?
hey, Mickey, why haven't you asked Minnie to marry you yet? Well, that pissed Mickey off. And Mickey told me to get out.
People don't know this. Mickey has a very short temper.
Oh, it's so short. So I see that it pisses him off. I give Minnie a kiss on the hand.
I remember this.
That's when you get arrested in Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't tell you is there is a Disney World jail.
Yes.
And what they also don't tell you is that to get out of jail, you actually have to act as one of the characters. Now, my height, I only could choose one of them, and that was Goofy. And my handler, to make sure I didn't speak to the public, that's why they don't talk, and so to lead me around, because guess what? I have a GPS on me, and they're going to make sure I go back where I need to go. So my handler was Lainey, and Lainey handled, made sure that I was staying in my role and making sure that I was Goofy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it, but there's always cattle prods involved.
Oh, they hurt.
They do hurt. I am not nice.
Do they still use anal probes?
No, not anymore. That was out. They got rid of that in the 80s.
Damn.
Well, that's good to hear.
You would not. Oh,
But I will say, Lainey was a very sweet handler, and she got me out of there quicker than usual.
I tried to get you around and then get you out of there. So
Good deal. Real quick, I just got a text from Cyrus. He's, I guess he's listening to the show. I didn't see him in the chat though. Oh, there he is. He's in the chat now. Sorry. He said sorry. He's late. He's not feeling well. He doesn't have much of a voice. So he wrote me his. He just texted me. Stupid me. I completely forgot. That was like the second time we met. Like the first time we met, it was years before that. We were actually working at a factory, and it was a chocolate factory. It was insane, and we were really far behind, and the manager was just like, listen, we got to get caught up because we're behind on shipments and everything, and just starts cranking up the machine. So we're on this line and we're trying to go through and we're trying to get the chocolates to go as fast as we can, and we cannot do the job. So we're throwing them inside our shirts, we're throwing them inside our mouths. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. I mean, we had several different jobs. It was crazy, Desi decide to go buy a new car, and we're like, no, we're gonna go buy a new car anyway. And then there was a time he wanted a cigarette and was wearing a fake nose. We've had a good time. I completely forgot about that because like I said, I've known Cy for forever. So yeah, but yeah, the second person that I wanted to talk about was actually Lainey, and Lainey's she's technically my wife's cousin, but she's really more like a little sister. She's more like a sister-in-law. In fact, that's how I introduce her is, hey, this is my sister-in-law, Lainey. So,
just easier that way.
Yeah. I mean, so, and I've been married. Ooh, this will be 15 years coming up. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, when I met Lainey, she was a kid, and she was annoying. She was so
not a nice kid.
Annoying. I was having a really I was having a really good day at first, and then I was having a really bad day, and I had worked really hard, and there was a medal that I had won, and I was really proud of it and really excited about it, and I freaking lost the medal. And she's trying to beat me to get the medal, and we're climbing this tree, and she's asking stupid questions. She's asking me, am I a hobo? And I'm like, no, I'm not a hobo. Yes, I've got a goatee but I'm not a hobo. Why are you asking that? Quit being ugly. and she was not nice to me. And eventually I kind of got to know her and things got better. But yeah, I love Lainey to death. We dress up as Ghostbusters and stuff now. And of course she's on the site and does shows and stuff. But yeah, she was kind of a real brat when I first met her. But
just a little.
Yeah, we're cool now. So
yeah, it's all good now.
Lainey, who else is someone that you met that
I do actually remember meeting Cyrus for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. Cy and I actually met a really long time ago. We were very, very briefly at the same high school. I was kind of an accelerated student, so But my parents had been working in Africa for a really, really long time, and came back. Brought me back with them, and I had to go to public school for the first time. It was just like a really, really scary thing, and it was tough. I had never been in a regular school before, and I was kind of struggling, like learning all of the rules and everything. And I guess I didn't really understand the cafeteria politics in like a normal American high school. And so some dude was talking to me, and it made me really uncomfortable. And then Cyrus was there, wearing a lot of pink, by the way, which I thought was interesting, but no judgment. Do you? It's cool.
He pulled it off. He was pretty, I'm sure.
He really was.
Yeah.
I was very striking, high school senior. So,
oh yeah.
But yeah. So, he was like, "Why don't you just come sit with us?" And it was Cy, and Eugene was there briefly. I don't think he really remembers that too well, but Eugene was there briefly. He was kind of hanging out,
I'll be honest, I was kind of ditzy in high school.
It's cool. It's cool. And Rudy was actually there as well, but Rudy kind of didn't know which way was up. He was feeling his boobs, trying to tell what kind of weather was happening. It was just a lot.
He had ESPN.
He did have ESPN. That's what he told me. I tried to explain to him the difference, but it was kind of a waste of time. So, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like, I started hanging out with them, and apparently, like, Cy was super popular in high school, and he had this like little group of friends that he hung out with, and it got a little hairy there for a while. Cy was dating somebody that I was also kind of interested in, and I kind of tried to steal him away, but it all ended up working out really, really well. We kind of disbanded this like elitist caste system that we had created, not after a riot. Of course, there was a riot in the school. It was a lot.
Yeah, well,
things got really real really quick, but it was amazing. We kind of went our separate ways for a while, but we all kind of remained friends. It was nice. So but yeah, Cy was kind of a bitch in high school. A little fun fact: a lot of pink, a lot of heels, kind of a bitch.
Well, it was a phase. I mean, we all got
the pink's going away. The bitch is still there.
I know. I think it is old age. It's just kind of reared its ugly head again.
Picky old gamer. Who's another person you remember
Love
meeting?
You, Sarah.
Well, you remember Eugene when I met you? You were at one of these Ghostbusters conventions, right? You'd had a little bit too much to drink.
Oh, he had one root beer too.
Eugene had too much to drink. He was dressed up as the keymaster, running around with his belt undone, going, "Yes, have some. Yes, have some." And I'm like, "Get away from me. Are you the gatekeeper?" I'm like, "Fuck, goddamn it, get away from me, you little shit." And then, then later on, Sally goes, "That's Eugene." I goes, "Oh, man, he was convincing, little bastard." "Oh, yeah. And then I come back and I said, I was sorry.
Well, I mean, 1.5 beers will do it. So, I apologize.
But hey, you had the action going on there with the belt and everything on the, yes, have some. It was perfect, man.
Thank you for that.
You to be so assaultive, Eugene.
Well, I try not to be as rapey anymore.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's easier to be in public.
You got to watch him. He'll hump you ever so I'll just like, oh, cool.
So I have a spray bottle of water whenever I see him doing that to other people. It's
like a cat.
Yeah, exactly. No,
pretty much. Yeah.
You don't get on the counter.
Chris, who's someone else you remember meeting?
Well, as you guys know, Ray and I have been together for like ever.
Eons.
Kind of timeless. And the first time I remember meeting him, you were really sort of kind of younger than me. And you were...
Not anymore.
No, we're the same age. But you were at
time is a relative thing, guys.
It's wibbly wobbly, dude. It's wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey. Timey-wimey. And you were at this library, and you were sitting there with one of your friends. I think her name was Donna. And
Donna was fantastic.
You guys were just, I remember sort of walking in. I had a group behind me, and we were doing.
Yeah, what the hell were they
doing? Group work. Anyways,
Foggy.
you looked upset or mad, but I'm like, I know you, and I know you don't know me, but I know you. And I remember walking up to you, and because we were doing group work, I had a helmet on, and
I'll never forget this. You said,
no,
hello, sweetie.
I did say hello, sweetie. Do you remember what you said to me?
Yeah. Please leave.
No, you said get out. Not please leave. You said get out.
Well, you know.
And that was kind of us.
Feel the love.
Walks up to you. Come on.
I thought I was being cute.
Yeah, she was adorable, and she felt like she'd already known you for years.
I didn't know him.
Exactly.
I just needed him to know that
that you already knew him.
That he would eventually know me, and that's what happened. And I was really cute and flirty, and I put on my good smile and said, hello, sweeties. And you said, get out.
Yeah.
Well, God.
I know. He was kind of bitchy. You know, he's lucky
After 900 years, that's what happens, okay?
Well, you know.
Sounds like you got some Cyrus bitch in there.
I know. Be bitchy.
I don't wear pink, though.
By the way, apparently my new nickname in the chat room is Old Rapey.
Well, I hope that catches on. After Eugene's ubiquitous.
I'm just saying right now that will not be a shirt we will be selling.
After Eugene's ubiquitous child pageant picture, I wanted him to be called Grand Supreme Little Darling, but.
Oh,
but that's another story.
Well, if Eugene, if you don't want to sell shirts, we can do a Kickstarter. We can get some shirts made.
Got this.
Old rapey.
Old Rapey.
With the thumbs
Actually, Old Rapey with that picture of me dressed as the king, you know, when I was like 5, that would actually look pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably sell that one.
On the back, it says, yes, have some.
There you
I hate you people.
Ray, who's someone else you have a distinct memory of meeting?
Jesus.
Well, I know Picky Old Gamer will remember this because it's what bonded him, Cy, and myself together. We were in this island. It's a new theme park that we went to. And we were working security. And this fat idiot was shutting down things, so we had to go check the fences. I might have been in charge of the new big attraction. I don't know, the king of something. Anyway, so I checked, and yeah, no, fences are good. I don't know what you're talking about. I may not have gone there.
It's okay. It's okay, babe.
You can forgive yourself. This is your time in Costa Rica, was it not?
Well, it was around that area, yeah. And anyway, so Picky Old Gamer and I and Cy were in a big game of cribbage. There's no way I'm getting out of this. So, of course, I called in that the fence was okay. And Picky Old Gamer, do you remember which fence you had? Like, mine was T-Rex something. I can't remember. What was yours?
I had the spitty ones. I hate those little bastards.
Yeah.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, they go fuckosaurus. That's what I call them, assholes.
I think Cy was working the cameras that day, and he said they were all good. So I don't know what the hell.
He's taking pictures and stuff, uploading it to porn sites. We know exactly what the hell he's doing.
But yeah, and Samuel Jackson was there too for some reason. But anyway, so yeah, it was a good time. It was a great job. I learned a lot. But that's where I've met those two.
All we remember Samuel Jackson yelling was motherfucking snakes and motherfucking plane. We don't even know what he's talking about. We're like,
he told us to hold on to our butts a lot too. I don't know.
I know. I don't get that. God.
I held on to it. I got out of it.
I need more hands to hold on to my.
Cyrus just wrote in the chat room. He said Chris and him. I remember him telling me this story. Chris and Ray, Chris and Cy actually met at a school dance, and things were starting to get interesting. And it was a good thing that Ray showed up and punched him in the face, because otherwise we wouldn't have Rudy. So you know. But speaking of Chris, I remember when I met Chris. it was really interesting because I actually like met Chris before I met Chris. Like I had this dream, and like I was really having a bad time, and I was kind of depressed, and I was kind of moping. You hate when you get like that, and I'm just kind of feeling like I'm at the bottom of everything, and everything just couldn't get worse. And she comes whizzing by on these rollerblades, and I'm just like, dude, that chick looks awesome. And like, I was like, I really need to meet this chick. So like, I was trying to figure out how I was going to meet her, and I thought, I'll order something from Amazon. So I ordered something from Amazon, and sure enough, she showed up on my front door, and it was something about like she took a trip through my brain or something because it was faster. I really didn't understand it, but that's how I met Chris. And like, she showed up, and like, she had awesome hair, and then we hit it off from there, and she's been part of the site ever since. So
it's full of mysteries.
I miss those rollerblades.
Yeah. I liked the purse was cool too, because you could like fit a lot of stuff in that purse. That was pretty cool. So
pretty helpful too.
Yeah, Lainey, who's someone else you remember meeting?
Well, a lot of people have actually asked me about how I met cast member Parker.
Oh, okay.
So, which is actually a really funny story. So, we actually grew up in Southern California. And one day, high school wasn't super fun for me. So one day my parents were having me dig in the backyard. We're trying to build a pool. So we were digging or whatever. And I kept hitting something like underground that was like really hard. So my friend, I don't really talk to him anymore. He was kind of a stoner, but my friend and I started kind of.
Paul. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, Paul. Exactly. Paul. Oh, yeah. Ray knows Paul. That's all I'm saying. But we started uncovering, and we realized it was like this huge block of ice, and there was like a person inside of it. It was crazy. So we took it to my garage, and we started to, try to melt it down or whatever. And there's this caveman that emerges. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. There's a caveman inside. So, he's out and is kind of just trying to figure everything out. It was kind of crazy. Me and Paul, we kind of showed him, we taught him about 7-Eleven, which is everybody needs to learn, taught him about all the important food groups, of course. He got along really, really well with the dog.
Yeah.
We wheeze in the juice. Like,
he was really into Java too, wasn't he?
Yeah, super, super, super into that. It was crazy. So like I don't know. I'm telling you, it was. I tried to bring him like to the high school or whatever. He was a hit. Everybody loved him, even though he looked like a crazy person. But it was kind of crazy. We had some mishaps or whatever, but him being from a totally different period in time kind of made him pretty popular. So, but yeah, it was crazy. Me and him and Polly, we went to prom all together. He ended up getting to go with like the hottest girl in the school. It was crazy. So, but yeah, we met. We've been friends ever since. So. Super tight.
See, I thought you met Parker when you and your family were like, on a vacation and were driving through a forest, and y'all hit him with the car, and y'all weren't sure what he was at first. And y'all took him home,
years later.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm misremembering.
His hair was so overgrown, I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, like that beard was like crazy. So
it gets nuts. It gets really nuts when he lets it get out of hand. So, but yeah, best buds ever since, man. Yeah, that was during that time. You'll hear me and Parker talk about it sometimes. Like we kind of lost touch for a few years after high school. But yeah, I didn't mean to hit him with the car. It just sort of happened. But yeah, it worked out. Worked out pretty well in the end.
It happens. People get it happens.
Why was he randomly walking through the woods?
Really?
What about you, Pig? What about you, Pig Old Gamer?
He's probably walking through the woods trying to find a crapper, and he just got lost.
That would make sense.
What about you, Picky Old Gamer? Who else do you remember meeting?
Well, I don't remember meeting many other people because I'm so new here.
Yeah, he's only been here for a little while.
That's true. That is true.
I haven't been traumatized. Love that.
Yeah, shit, Eugene. You probably traumatized the poor man. He's like, God, these people.
Well, I tend to have that effect. Old Rapey has that effect on people.
Old Rapey.
Between Rapey and Cyrus Bitch Martin.
Cyrus the bitch. Oh my God, I want to call him that forever.
Chris, who else do you remember meeting?
Well, I know we met when you said we met, but I think Eugene, it was the second time we met, because the first time we met, don't remember, we were part of the same sort of fraternity sorority sort of hybrid thing. And I was the messenger for the go-between, like I was the go-between between fraternity and the sorority. And I remember having to tell you that it wasn't a very good message that I had to send you, but that Sentinel Zeta Prime had died. And now that made you head of the Primes. And because he had died from the Decepticon attack, it was just tragic.
It was sad.
And so
yeah, that was a bad day.
It was a bad day. Everybody was sad about it. I mean, the funeral was choice. They had a good spread. But what had wound up happening is because I felt so much for you and just really believed you as a leader, I went with you to another sort of, had these group fraternity meetings, and it was all sort of going to shit. And so I followed you to help kind of bring everybody together. Some dude named Ratchet came with us. I don't really remember him.
Oh, go figure. Oh, Ratchet.
But, you know, it was kind of the beginning of our adventures. Starscream was there. Some guy named Iron.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I mean, you know, you have a dream.
There's a lot of traumatic stuff that happened. It's okay.
Yeah, well,
you had a yellow helmet on. You had
I was really good in yellow, by the way.
Yes, you do. Ray, who else do you remember meeting?
So there's a reason why you, Eugene, and why Cyrus actually don't remember the first time you ever met.
Oh, intrigue.
So a lot of people don't know this, but I actually spent a little bit of time in the States when I was a kid. I lived in Hawkins, Indiana, just for about a year. My dad was working security for the U.S. Department of Energy. And I thought that was kind of weird that he was working security there. But, anyway, some MK Ultra project or something. Anyway, so we were living there. And in our school, I found out later why you don't remember this, but so this kid named Mike Wheeler went missing. And so where I met you and Cy was for a search party for him. And it was pretty traumatic, but so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
I remember hearing about that.
And then we went to your place and we started playing D&D and you know, hang out with and just having a good time, talking about each other. They found the kid's body, but then they didn't. And then he actually came back to school.
I know, that was so weird.
And it was, you know what, it was really strange. So my dad said, we got to get the hell out of Dodge. Like, this is messed up. And he can't even talk to it about this to this day.
Oh, no, he can't.
Like,
he can't speak.
It's whatever went down, and I don't know what the U.S. Department is messed up. But anyway, so he said, forget it all. We're moving to Canada again. And so we moved up to Canada, and now I work for an energy place as well. So that's why I now understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, stranger things happen. I forgot about that. That's crazy. Because, see, I thought when I met you, I thought, you know, I was with Cy, and like I said, I completely forgot about that because I was with Cy, and we were trying to get, you know, we were in college, we were trying to get somewhere else, and we had to get a pretty good distance away. We were going on a trip, and you know, I mean, we're poor. We didn't, you know, neither of us had a decent car that we could actually get anywhere. So, I mean, I just sold my speeder and just got like a little bit of money. We didn't have hardly any money. And we were looking for a ship to get us, you know, where we need to go. So, you know, we kind of went to this, you know, dive bar. I really don't know why. So I was like, oh, we'll absolutely find someone here, you know, but watch yourself. And I'm like, okay. And then, you know, you came up. You had a friend. He was kind of cocky. I don't remember what happened to him. I don't think it's Sean. But yeah, I mean, you definitely had your hair grown out a lot longer then. And you were a little hard to understand, but you know, everyone was like, he's cool, so he can definitely handle himself. So, you know, but yeah, that's how I remember meeting you.
I had beast in my throat, so I could only yell.
Exactly. Yeah. Just kind of come out. Yeah. It just was kind of sounded weird. I completely forgot, you know, about, you know, that missing kid and stuff. That was crazy.
that cocky friend of yours, I think he died.
You know what? It's something about his son killing him. I don't know.
I think he died. It was kind of tragic.
Man, that sucks. That sucks for that guy.
Yeah, it was like 40 years later. But yeah, 30.
That's crazy.
But, yeah.
What about you, Lainey? Who else do you remember meeting?
Eugene, I actually remember meeting you, which granted, like, Eugene is obviously, like, a part of my family, but there was a while there where I've always kind of been the wild child in the fam bam, and I kind of go off and do whatever I want and disappear for a little while. So I had gone off to school and kind of done whatever, and I had moved back to town and I was looking for a job, and I just saw an ad in the paper. It wasn't very descriptive. It just, was like, hey, help wanted or whatever. So I answered it because I really needed a job. And it was funny. It took me to this.
Well, you have to answer the call when it comes up.
You do have to answer the call. So it took me to this like random old firehouse like downtown.
It was a unique fixer-upper opportoity. You had to jump on it.
I will absolutely give that to you. It was very, very, very unique. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a really interesting receptionist at the front desk too. I really liked her though. But then down comes Eugene in what looks like a set of pajamas. And is telling me that he apparently is now like hunting paranormal apparitions throughout, the city. And hey, would I like to join them? And I mean, I'm not one to turn down a perfectly good opportunity and a way to make money. So I suited up too, and henceforth answered the call. And Eugene and I, luckily, have been able to answer the call ever since. So it's been pretty great. But yeah, it was kind of weird just hanging out with these other two guys. One of them was crazy smart. The other one was a little bit of a playboy. He was a little excessive, but we liked him anyway.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Good guy. Very good guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Picky Old Gamer, did you have any other memories or? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
What was that, Leanie? Oh, never mind.
I do remember vague images of meeting Lainey real early, but all I remember is a hole, and it puts lotion on its skin. I don't know why. It just cuts away, and then I don't remember.
This is the first time you saw Cyrus and I hanging out, because that would make a lot of sense.
That's kind of what Cy was. Cy was saying something about that in the chat. I'm not exactly sure, but
But my skin was buttery soft afterwards. That's all.
I bet it was.
There you go.
Moisturizing is important.
Moisturizing is important. You don't want to get the clothes again.
Chris, do you have any other memories that you'd like to share?
Yeah, my memory's patchy at best. So.
Gotcha. What about you, Ray?
Oh, I think I'm done.
You think you're done? All right. The only other one that I had mentioned on here was the story you just told, Lainey. I forgot. I thought that's how I met Picky Old Gamer, but now that I think about it, the way I met him, like we were first starting trying to buy the firehouse, and like I convinced him to remortgage his parents' house. I mean, it was like his third mortgage, and we just kind of took whatever we had. It was like, look, dude, we're going to make more money than you can dream about, and it's going to be awesome. And we went in together, and it became a pretty awesome business. We had some rough parts in the 80s. I mean, things happened, but we got back up on our feet, and things tend to work out. So
I think that was the second time you met me. The first time you had your pants undone and was saying yes, have some.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I keep forgetting that.
I had a nickel for every time we got that.
The beer, yeah. So old rapey.
Rapey.
If we were naming the episodes by the old standard, that would have to be it. That's our episode for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our getting to how we met each other stories. So let's go ahead.
Walk down memory lane.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, today was a really good. I don't know why, but today's a really good day to do that. So
I agree.
Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans for the week. Does anyone like to go first?
I have a pan.
What you got?
Okay, so Eugene and I missed getting to do the show last week because we had an event to go do.
True.
And I love getting to do events as a Ghostbuster. It is so much fun. I'm so glad that I've gotten to do this and be a part of this community. It's great. But as with many things, there's always a little sour that goes with it. No, I love wearing my Ghostbuster uniform. I am like just enamored with getting to strap that pack on my back and be somebody else. It's amazing. It's so much fun. You know, I like being able to tell people that I'm a Ghostbuster. It's great. You know, and I always meet really cool people. I have a great time. My favorite thing about what I do is getting to interact with kids. And now that the new movie has come out, a big part of that is getting to interact with little girls, which is awesome because I have little girls talking to me about how they want to be Holtzman when they grow up. And they want to learn how to put things together and take things apart, and they want to become engineers. And that's amazing. We need more girls in STEM fields. But along with that also comes the barrage of men who love to take the opportunity of seeing a token girl in a Ghostbuster uniform, which is not token. It's been happening for a very, very long time. They love to stop me and berate me, essentially, for how bad they feel like the new movie was.
Because it's your fault, by the way.
It's my fault because I'm a woman. So inherently, it's my fault. Mm-hmm. But my big issue with that is just like, do I think that there were some shortcomings to the movie? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Do I wish maybe they'd had a little bit of a better script to work with? Sure, I do. But I don't think that that's necessarily what it's all about. As a kid who grew up watching that movie, it was really wonderful to see this story that I love so much and this franchise that I love so much be done in a new way and done in a way that I would have loved to have had when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to have had 4 awesome women like that who were just crazy smart and awesome, kicking ass and taking names. I would have loved to have seen that. And I think that I think that that's really important for our girls to see. We need more heroines for these girls to see, like real heroines, like awesome heroines that are just like super cool, not running around in like spandex being an accessory to a male hero, you know? So I get really heated when that happens. And it is one of those things that has probably happened every time I've ever gone out in the uniform. So just for future reference, if you see me at a convention and you feel whatever that inherent need is within you to come and berate me, you may want to think twice because I will clap back at you and you're not going to like it.
Was I there or had I gone out for a walk or something?
You had walked away it happened to me twice at the last event for that.
See, one that makes me want to not walk away. Not that you need someone to watch out for you or anything, but I'm just saying it's one of those things that's like, I'd like to help jump in and just like,
you were there for one of them because the guy was like, well, I didn't really like the fact that every guy in the movie was like either an asshole or an idiot. And I was like, you mean like most women and
oh yeah, and then his girlfriend or whatever jumped into and
well, and then she like was apologetic to him. She's like, well, I can see how it would make you upset if you didn't understand. I was like, no. I don't feel bad because I just don't feel bad. Like, deal. Yeah. Sorry. Like, oh, you didn't like the way that you were portrayed? Wow. Sorry. So don't be that guy then. But no, I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't know why men feel so threatened by seeing a female Ghostbuster walking around. But you know what? Come and fight me. I'll take you on.
That's the shirt you need underneath your jumpsuit is literally you just like unzip it a little bit and just says, come fight me. That would be awesome.
I ain't afraid of no fragile masculinity.
Hell yeah. I'm going to jump in real quick I've actually have 2 picks for the week. Technically in a pan. Like she said, I love being a Ghostbuster. I love, wearing the uniform. We were supposed to be on a parade tomorrow, but unfortunately, Texas weather, that's probably not going to happen. So, that kind of sucks.
Throwing a fit.
Yeah. Not really happy with that. On the other hand, I did finish the first issue of Ghostbusters 101, which is the crossover with the new Ghostbusters and the old Ghostbusters. It is just an initial setup, so it's very early on the story, but I'm enjoying it. Granted, I got 2 of the covers. I thought there were 4 covers, so I was in the process of trying to get all 4 covers, and then I found out later this week there were actually 5, and I'm just like, this is why I don't collect comics anymore, because I can't handle this. comics. Trying to keep up with collecting multiple covers for the same comic is insane. And then the other thing is I bought a Raspberry Pi. I actually found out about a way to turn the Raspberry Pi into doing some stuff with my 3D printer that's going to be really awesome. I should get the rest of that stuff hopefully this week.
That jam up your printer?
Do what now?
Want the crust jam up the printer from your Pi?
Yeah, well, it'll help clean it out eventually. But
Dude, gamer, for real though, every time they've been talking about that in the chat, I'm like, ooh, Raspberry Pi. I'm like, oh yeah, something else.
Oh, never mind.
That'll be good with that.
Yeah. But I'll be honest. So I'm like, well, until I get the stuff that I need this coming Wednesday, what can I do with this thing? Ooh, I'll just turn this into a Retro Pi. And wow, this thing actually plays games pretty well. So I'm in the process of
old Pi, Eugene. That's disgusting.
Well, I'm redoing the Pi, so it's never mind. Other show.
Worse.
Yeah.
You're all getting into dad joke territory. This is
exactly. And you know what? I love dad joke territory.
This is a dangerous.
Rapey. Stop it. Rapey. Stop it. Stop it.
Rapey. Okay. Pick Your Gamer. Do you have a pick or pan for the week?
My pick is Nintendo fixed part of my Switch. My left Joy-Con was acting up, and I called them. They, 2-day shipping up to Nintendo's repair place and overnight it back to me, and I'm playing again. Because I don't ever have anything else to do but sit there and play more Zelda. But it is they were actually seeing some issues with that system launch, and people have actually sent off their entire console, the little tablet, 5-day turnaround for free.
Wow, 5 days is not bad.
They're fixing it. They get a lot of hell, but they're doing good stuff.
Well, at least it's not it's not. I remember like the whole reason. Well, there were a couple of reasons I waited to get an Xbox 360, but I remember the whole Red Ring thing. That was a nightmare.
Sounds
My buddy
So, do what?
Sounds like a horror movie.
It was a bad. It was like if you were an Xbox like a really big gamer, like that was a nightmare. That was a horror movie for you. So, Chris, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
Oh, I sort of had a burp and then on away. Okay, sorry.
It's me. I'm her pick.
Classy.
I'm so classy. So a couple of things. So our youngest son. Well, I have one. Why did I say that? It sounds like I have more.
You only had one. Hold on.
How many sons do you have?
13.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he doesn't know. Ray, cover your ears. You don't know about these children.
Yeah.
These are the ones we keep in the basement.
Do I have to pay for them?
Yes.
There you go. That's a dad answer right there.
Quinn turned 9 on a Thursday.
Aww.
He turned 9, and I've never been one of those moms who cries at the end of a stage for a child. I'm always, if I cry, it's because I'm proud of them. It's not because I'm sad. I never understood the moms who cry when their child turns 1 or is 3 or goes to school. They're not a baby anymore. I just never understood that. It's like, well, yeah, what did you expect? Grow up. That's that's supposed to happen. It's a good thing. But he's 9, and it's kind of cool and sort of hard to believe it went by so fast, and it's just going to keep getting faster. And he's such a cool little kid. And then my pan is for me because on Wednesday we had our Marginally Geeky podcast, and I was so distracted by life and by trying to remember the book. Because I thought I remembered it, and then I read the synopsis, and it's like, no, I do not remember it. This really was a different book than I was remembering. I was trying to recall everything and really listen.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Like I remember really liking the book, and I remember really hating the movie. Then when I read the synopsis, I'm like, oh, I should have read the book. I was really going on my memory, and my memory failed me. And because of that, when we were saying what we were reading, I totally botched the author's name and actually the title of the book. Like it was just all wrong. It was just all wrong. I didn't even that's not even what the book's called. Her name is wrong. So I would like to put it straight. Her name is Sherilyn Kenyon, and it's called Born of Legend, and it's the lead series. And that's the book that I just finished, which was really good. And I loved it. And I want to read the next one, which comes out in May.
Oh, yeah, I hate waiting for books to come out.
If we're making corrections to show other shows we do, FYI, on the next episode of Rhythm and Brews, that is not the name of the song that I chose. The song is called Gospel, not Rise Up. I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry.
You almost feel like we need like a corrections moment in this show. Like, okay, last episode, this is wrong. I said this wrong. I'm trying
The next day, it came up on my iPod, and I was like, "God damn it!" Like,
that's what the comment section is for. People just go in the comments and just say, "Hey, look, I fucked up."
Like, I did correct myself, and just it was just brutal. I'm like, I've read like 20 of her books. How could I screw this up?
It was okay. You could have been like Eugene and called Jane Austen Jane Eyre.
Okay.
That was so funny, and I knew Parker was waiting on me to make a correction too, because I could see it in his stupid little face.
Yeah, he was ready to pounce.
He was like, "She's gonna say it. I don't have to say it. Elaine is gonna say it. It's coming. It's coming." And there it was. I just couldn't. Jane Austen, hold on.
I cannot believe it. As soon as you were like, "You mean Jane Austen?" I'm just like, "Yep, that's what I meant to say."
Because that's a similar genre. Well, similar genre, similar time. You're fine. I mean,
yeah.
So
they're all good. The Bronte sisters, anyway. My God, there were like 50 of them.
Yeah, Ray, you have a pick or pan for the week?
Yeah. So I have a bit of a pan first. I don't know if you guys were able to see. So you got us watching movies with Mikey. And
yes. Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, and so just a shout out to him. Just please, support MS as much as possible. All the research for MS. I hope he gets better. His latest video just kind of gives an update. He's okay, which is good, but he's on the mend, which is not so good. So that was pretty upsetting video. He was in good spirits, but it was. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that other than.
No, I understand. When I watched it too, I was like, "Wow!" Like, yeah.
It was pretty upsetting. As for my pick, so for Quinn's birthday, we got him a K2SO figurine that he could build for a Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, nice!
That's so cool. Oh my God.
He's building it, and it was all good, and doesn't it have a couple pieces missing? So. He was really good about it.
Oh yeah, he was very good about it.
We got some extra pieces from all of his other bins of Lego that he had.
Dragging out all this Lego, trying to find similar pieces.
That would work, and so he did. We found some pieces that worked for him, and we got it built together. And I went onto the Lego website, and sure enough, it was. I can't believe how easy it is to report there was some missing pieces. It was literally just putting in the 5 numbers of the package that we bought, and saying which ones we missed. Putting in our address, and it's being shipped out. Like there's no question.
That's nice.
So that got me to. So I sent them a message to them just saying, thank you for making it so easy, and it was awesome that they did that. And so they actually wrote back wishing Quinn a happy birthday. And also saying that with him being such a good master builder, maybe he can work there someday with them and.
Which he thought was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? So I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
Dude, kudos to the company for being awesome like that. That's legit.
It was the next day.
It was the next day. I sent it at night, and they got back to me the next day. And
that's awesome. That's a good customer service department, too.
Yes.
Kudos to them. Well done, guys. Good job, team.
Way to go, Lego.
Yeah. Lego is so cool. God.
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? I'd love to be a master builder. That would be awesome.
I would just want to work their social media or something. I feel like I'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
I'm bad at my own social media.
That is our show. That is our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. That definitely helps. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all the awesome content we have that comes out. Like we mentioned, the Marginally Geeky show came out on Friday. Unfortunately, there's not going to be an episode of Game Rambling tomorrow because Cyrus is still under the weather, but you can go back and watch the previous episodes. You can also see the random video game information that Epically Gamer puts up. So which is awesome. And we're working on some new stuff. I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully that will be up this week. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely do that, because we're really trying to push a lot of our stuff there. So and then of course you can find the site on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Epically Geeky. Where can we find you online, Lainey?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at It's Elaine Bird. You can also find me over on the Marginally Geeky podcast, as well as Epic Rhythm and Brews, and on epicallygeeky.com.
Nice. Piggy Old Gamer, where can we find you online?
Well, you can always find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and also I'm part of the epicallygeeky.com and their YouTube channel. So find me either place and just listen to the craziness.
Nice. Chris, where can we find you online?
At the Epically Geeky site. Also, I'm on the Marginally Geeky podcast and this one as well. And my Instagram is the Lake Life, but it's the.lake.life. And I'm going to try something new with my Instagram and experiment with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Ray, where can we find you online?
Epically Geeky is where most of my video stuff is, because that's where all my video stuff is. And then also on Instagram, Lake Life Artist. And then you can also find me on Facebook. I've mentioned that a couple of times. Search for Raymond Andrew, and you'll find it on one of the artists that are listed there. So, yeah.
Very cool. And then you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So, for everyone on the site, have a good night.